Rome began as a crime scene. Two brothers fighting in the dirt over a plot of land, ending in a murder. These are the twins, Romulus and Remus, and the prize they are fighting for is the future site of the Roman Empire. This fratricide established a ruthless precedent. From its first day, Roman civilization prioritized dominance over kin. To understand how they got to that wall, we have to look at the generations before them in the kingdom of Alba Longa. A paranoid king named Aemilius had stolen the throne, and he was desperate to erase his brother's bloodline. His niece, Rhea Silvia, was the true heir. To ensure she never produced a rival, Aemilius forced her to become a Vestal virgin, binding her to strict vows of chastity. But Rhea Silvia became pregnant, claiming the father was Mars, the god of war. Her unborn twins now possessed a divine, militaristic destiny. Aemilius responded by ordering his guards to drown the infants in the swollen waters of the river Tiber. From their very first breath, these future founders were thrust into a lethal political game, forced into a fight for survival against their own blood. The king's attempt failed. The seasonal floodwaters receded, leaving the infants stranded but alive in the mud of the riverbank. Against all odds, a wild she-wolf discovered the crying babies stranded on the riverbank. Defying nature, the wolf suckled and protected the twins until a wandering shepherd named Faustulus discovered and adopted them. Being discarded by royalty and raised by the wilderness instilled a primal ruthlessness in the brothers, traits that would later define their empire. As adults, the twins discovered their royal lineage. They exacted bloody revenge on King Aemilius and restored their grandfather to the throne. But they refused to inherit an existing kingdom. They returned to the untamed wilderness, where they were saved, to build their own city. Their chosen land was a treacherous marshland dominated by 7 distinct hills. This geography acted as a pressure cooker. The spatial limits forced the ambitious brothers into a deadly competition for supremacy. Romulus began physically building the defensive walls of his new city on the Palatine Hill, drawing a literal line in the sand. Remus mocked these defenses, leaping over the half-built wall in a public display of disrespect. Consumed by a sudden blinding fit of rage at this blatant disrespect, Romulus raised his weapon and struck his own brother down. The murder left Romulus as the sole architect of the city. In this moment, the demands of the state became more important than the ties of his own blood. With Remus dead, the new settlement was named Rome after its lone survivor. In 753 BC, Romulus crowned himself its first absolute king. To populate his hills, Romulus deliberately opened an asylum to attract outcasts, refugees, and fugitives to his walls. He secured the first generation of Roman citizens through the violent acquisition of the Sabine women, and organized his first 100 advisors into a senate. After ruling for 37 years, Romulus disappeared during a violent storm, allegedly leaving the Earth to join his father, Mars. The city was now a reality, built entirely on ruthless ambition. Romulus was only the first king, and the 6 who followed would push this dark legacy even further.